Story time. So I grew up in a neighborhood when I was 7, 8, 9, yeah, 7, 8, 9, in a neighborhood where there was little access to clean water. The area is called Alpha Beach, back in Nigeria. There was little access to clean water. There was a well in that neighborhood, but the water in that well is brown and dirty. So we could fetch it. We had access to the well, but it was brown and very, very dirty. So a water tank usually come from another town, from outside, to distribute clean water. So some people had a very big tank where they sold those waters, and anytime anytime the vehicle is coming, we the neighbors, we would have set our buckets. We would have set our buckets, line it up. Then after the big water tank distributes water to the big tanks, the remaining is given to the neighborhoods. To the bucket that has been arranged is shared equally. But sometimes those big vehicles don't come, and when that happens, my siblings and I and the neighbors, we will have to walk to a town called Owode. In that town, there are a lot of wells, but there are a lot of wells there. But the water in those wells are clean. So we had to walk to those towns to fetch water. I remember my siblings and I, we usually have different sets of buckets. My sister and my brother would carry the big paint bucket, while me I will carry one medium size bucket according to my size. We used to use this something called oshuka. This is a wrapper that is tied like this. This is it. Then we put on our head. We put the bucket on our head. This is like a support, So yeah, we will walk long distance. That Owode town is far away. Yeah, the water that we had access to was very brown and dirty. We can't use it to cook. We can't drink it, but we can use it to bath. We can use it to bath. After we've had the tub in, we usually use it to bath. But we can't drink it. If anyone drinks that water, people will get sick. So it's undrinkable. Why am I saying this? I didn't think anything of this before. I was just doing my normal prayer. I just saw a flash of a vehicle distributing water, a flash of my childhood memory. And now this is where my sermon comes in. And I will title it Dirty Wells and Living Water. Dirty wells and living water. That well that we had access to, the brown dirty well in our neighborhood, represents the system of this world, the polluted system of this world, the sinful living, the wisdom of this world without God. Yeah, it represents people's lifestyle, alcoholism, people just living the way they want, as if God does not exist. Now, a lot of people drink from that
Come
dirty
drink
well.
of this well. Alcoholism,
That dirty well
envy,
that I
witchcraft.
told you that we
Give
could
us
not
the
drink,
water. We
but we use
thirst.
it to bath. And but we use it to bath after adding salt. Lots of people are drinking from that dirty well. Right now, you are listening to me, you are drinking from that dirty well, and it only brings sickness to the soul. Yes, which eventually leads to death, spiritual death. Yes. Sinful lifestyle, alcoholism, wickedness, witchcraft, envy, jealousy, just name it. That is the dirty well that you are drinking from, and it will only bring sickness to your soul. Jeremiah 2:13 says, "My people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed out cisterns for themselves, broken cisterns that can hold no water." That was the children of the Israelites. They rejected God, and they were using man-made cistern, something that holds water, but it was even broken. So they created a man-made God for themselves and rejected God. That is what some people are doing today. Because you have easy access to that brown water, you are drinking it indirectly. You don't want to suffer, you don't want to stress yourself for clean water. You don't want to stress yourself, not knowing that you are damaging your soul. Okay? Walk that mile to go and get that clean water. Walk that mile to get access to the source of life. The people in our neighborhood, my family and other people in the neighbor, we couldn't clean that well water ourselves. All we had to do was temporary Dettol that we use every time we use it, but even we can't drink it, we can't use it to cook. Clean water had to come from outside. That big tank that came represents Jesus. It represents Jesus, the salvation of our soul. It represents help that only comes from above. It represents Jesus. Salvation that no man can give. That clean water represents Jesus. John 4:13-14 says, Jesus answered and said to her, "Whoever drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst." Jesus is the divine water. Jesus is the divine water. Get Jesus and you won't thirst again. Jesus is the divine water tank sent from heaven for a thirsty world. Get Jesus and you won't thirst again. Now, some people sold water during that time. They sold it, I think 10 naira, just small money, 5 naira, 20 naira, and people usually buy it. Now, those that sold those water represent the false prophets. Temporary solutions. It's not even a solution. Those that commercialize the gospel. Okay? False prophets. Let's open to Isaiah 51 verse 1 says, "Come, everyone who thirsts, Come to the waters, and he who has no money, come, buy and eat. The true living water is not for exploitation, it's for free. It's not for exploitation. The Bible says in Matthew 5 verse 6 that blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Okay? Give your life to Christ.
I
Give your life
offer
to
you
Christ.
living water, streams that will quench your deepest thirst. Come unto me, and you shall find rest